The year was 2157. Humanity had finally broken the light-speed barrier. After decades of research, trial, and deadly errors, the United Earth Space Fleet was ready to venture beyond the solar system for the first time. Captain Olivia Reeves stood on the bridge of the UES Pathfinder, her dark hair pulled back tightly, eyes fixed on the main view screen. The ship hummed around her, the product of humanity's greatest minds working together. She felt the weight of 7 billion hopes on her shoulders. "All systems ready for jump, Captain," said Lieutenant Greg Donovan from the tactical station. His voice was steady, but Olivia caught the slight tremble in his hands. Nobody had ever gone where they were about to go. "Very well," she said. "Begin the countdown." The ship's artificial intelligence began to count backward from 10. Olivia gripped the arms of her command chair. When the count reached 0, space itself seemed to bend. Stars stretched into lines of light, and then they were through. 3 weeks later, after several more jumps, sensors detected something that changed everything. Artificial structures. A space station larger than anything humans had ever built orbited a gas giant in a star system 40 light-years from Earth. "It's beautiful," whispered Dr. Samantha Kelly, the ship's xenobiologist. Her red hair caught the blue light from the screen as she leaned forward. "And definitely not human." "Open a channel," Olivia ordered. "Standard greeting package." The communications officer sent the carefully prepared message of peace. For 6 hours there was no response. The crew grew tense, wondering if they had made a terrible mistake. Then the screen flickered, and they saw aliens for the first time. The creature had blue-gray skin and large, dark eyes set in a face that looked almost, but not quite, like a human's. Its mouth moved, and the ship's computer translated the sounds into English. "Unknown vessel, you have entered Confederation space. Identify yourselves." Olivia stepped forward. "I am Captain Olivia Reeves of the United Earth Space Fleet, Vessel Pathfinder. We come in peace as representatives of humanity." The alien's expression changed in a way that seemed like surprise. "Humanity? Your species has achieved faster than light travel?" "Yes," Olivia replied with pride. "We seek peaceful contact and exchange of knowledge." The alien conferred with others off-screen, then returned. "You will be permitted to dock. Prepare to receive boarding instructions." The Pathfinder docked at the massive station. Through the viewports, the crew could see ships of various designs coming and going. Some were elegant and sleek, others blocky and functional, all clearly more advanced than humanity's best efforts. Olivia led a small team to meet the representatives of what they learned was called the Galactic Confederation. High Commander Zinvox, the blue-skinned alien from the transmission, waited with a group of other species. Some looked almost human, others were wildly different. One appeared to be made partly of crystal, another floated in a tank of liquid. "Welcome," said Zinvox without much warmth. "You are the 17th spacefaring species we have encountered. The Confederation unites 17 advanced civilizations in peace and mutual advancement." Dr. Kelly whispered to Olivia. "They're saying they've found exactly as many species as they have members. That seems convenient." Olivia finished quietly, then addressed the aliens. "We are honored to meet you all, and hope Earth might join your confederation." A ripple of something like amusement passed through the aliens. The crystalline being made a sound like tinkling glass. "Join?" Zinvox said, blinking slowly. "Perhaps you misunderstand. The Confederation is composed of advanced species. From what our scans indicate, your ship is barely capable of safe faster-than-light travel. Your technology is primitive." Lieutenant Donovan stiffened beside Olivia. She placed a calming hand on his arm. "Every species begins somewhere," she said evenly. "We learn quickly." "Indeed," said a tall, thin alien with green skin. "But there are standards, benchmarks of advancement. Your species appears quite fragile as well. Your bone density, muscle mass, respiratory efficiency, all inferior to Confederation averages." Dr. Kelly stepped forward. "Different doesn't mean inferior. Humans have unique biological adaptations." The aliens exchanged glances. "Of course," said Zinvox in a tone that suggested he was humoring children. You will be allowed to establish limited diplomatic contact. We will share some basic cultural information. Over the next 3 days, the humans were given tours of public areas of the station. They met traders, scientists, and officials from various species. Throughout it all, Olivia noticed a pattern. They were treated with curiosity, sometimes amusement, but never respect. Lieutenant Donovan grew increasingly tense. During a private moment, he pulled Olivia aside. Captain, have you noticed the military presence here? Their patrol patterns, the weapon emplacements? Olivia nodded. They're not as peaceful as they pretend. And the maps they showed us? There are inconsistencies. Territories that don't match their descriptions. I think they're hiding something. On the 4th day, they were summoned to meet the Confederation Council. 7 representatives, 1 from each founding species, sat on raised platforms. Zinvox stood before them. We have completed our assessment of humanity, he announced. You will be categorized as a Level 1 civilization, negligible threat, minimal technological advancement, limited space presence. Ambassador Ryan Martinez, who had joined them from Earth's diplomatic corps, stepped forward. With respect, we seek alliance, not assessment. A council member with 4 arms laughed, a harsh barking sound. Alliance? You have nothing to offer. Your ships would not last 10 minutes against even our smallest patrol vessels. The Confederation protects developing species, said another council member more gently. Return to your world. In a century or 2, perhaps you will be ready for limited membership. As they left the chamber, Dr. Kelly pulled Olivia aside. I've been studying their physiology as much as I could. There's something interesting. Their stress responses are different from ours. When they face danger, their cognitive functions narrow, become more rigid. Unlike humans, Olivia said, who often become more creative under pressure. Exactly. They might be underestimating us in ways they don't understand. The Pathfinder departed the station the next day. As Earth grew larger in their view screen weeks later, Olivia gathered her senior staff. They see us as weak, primitive, no threat to their order, she said. But we know different. Humanity has fought and survived on a harsh world. We've overcome disease, disaster, and our own violent tendencies. Lieutenant Donovan nodded. We should prepare. The Confederation isn't as benevolent as they claim. Kelly added, and they don't understand us. That could be our advantage. Olivia looked at the blue planet before them. They've rated us Level 1, negligible. But history is full of negligible forces changing everything. She smiled slightly. Let's show them what humans can do. The Pathfinder docked at Earth Station 1, carrying news that would forever change humanity's future. The challenge had begun. 3 years passed quickly on Earth. The news of alien life and the vast Galactic Confederation changed everything. Factories that once built cars now made spacecraft parts. Children played with toy aliens instead of action figures. Everyone looked to the stars with new eyes. Commander Alan Winters stood on the bridge of the UES Defender, the newest ship in Earth's growing fleet. Unlike the exploration vessel Pathfinder, the Defender was built for protection. Its hull was thicker, its weapons more powerful. Commander, sensors detect 4 Confederation mining ships entering the Proxima Centauri system, said Lieutenant Paul Garcia, his fingers moving across the control panel. They're setting up equipment on the 3rd planet. Winters frowned. Proxima, Centauri was the star closest to Earth's sun, and humanity had claimed it as their first colony system. The United Earth government had sent clear maps of human territory to the Confederation. Open a channel, Winters ordered. The screen flickered to life, showing a reptilian alien with scales that shifted from green to blue. This is Commander Alan Winters of the United Earth Space Fleet. You are in human territory. Please cease operations and withdraw. The alien blinked slowly. I am Sub-Commander Trell of the Mining Guild. Our records show this system as unclaimed. There must be a mistake, Winters said firmly. We sent official boundary markers to the Confederation 3 years ago. Trell made a dismissive gesture. Level 1 civilizations do not claim multiple star systems. Return to your homeworld. The screen went dark. Winters turned to his communications officer. Contact Earth. Tell them we have a situation. 2 days. Later, 5 more Earth ships joined the Defender at Proxima Centauri. The small fleet took formation near the mining operations. On Earth, the United Earth government sent urgent messages to the Confederation, receiving only automated responses saying their concern would be processed in due time. They're ignoring us, said Captain Lisa Nguyen of the UES Guardian. They don't think we'll do anything about it. Winters nodded. Then we need to show them we're serious. He opened a channel to the mining ships again. Sub-Commander Trell, this is your final notice. You have 1 hour to begin withdrawal from this system. Trell appeared on screen looking irritated. Your threats are meaningless, human. The Confederation has categorized your species. You avoid conflict. You seek compromise. You will file complaints through official channels and accept whatever decision is made. You've misjudged us, Winters said quietly. 1 hour. When the deadline passed, the mining continued. Winters ordered the fleet to advance at half speed. On approach, sensors detected energy buildups in the Confederation ships. They're charging weapons, Lieutenant Garcia warned. Hold course, Winters ordered. Without warning, the lead mining ship fired an energy beam that struck the UES Guardian. The ship rocked but held together. Return fire, Winters commanded. Target. Their propulsion systems only. The human ships moved with unexpected coordination. The Guardian and Defender attacked from the front while 3 smaller ships swung around to flank the mining vessels. The Confederation ships had better technology, but they had expected an easy victory. They weren't prepared for human tactics. The foe. Confederation ships fired again, destroying 1 Earth vessel in a bright flash. The crew of the Defender watched in silent anger as the UES Intrepid vanished from their screens. New pattern, Winters ordered, his voice calm despite the loss. Sunburst formation. The Earth ships scattered, then converged from multiple angles. 2 ships deliberately took hits to allow others into firing position. It was a strategy no Confederation species would use, trading damage for advantage. Second Earth ship exploded, but not before launching missiles that disabled a mining vessel's engines. The remaining Earth ships concentrated fire on 1 target at a time. After 20 minutes of battle, 4 Confederation ships drifted powerless. Several Earth ships had severe damage, but only 2 had been destroyed. Open a channel to the lead ship, Winters said, standing straight despite a cut on his forehead from when the bridge had been hit. Trell appeared on screen, his scales now pale with what humans would later learn was shock and fear. This is Commander Winters, we asked nicely. Now we're telling you. This space belongs to Earth. Withdraw your ships or be destroyed. There was a long pause before Trell responded. We will withdraw under protest. Earth ships towed the damaged mining vessels to the edge of the system and left them there with minimal repair supplies. When help arrived from the Confederation a week later, the stories the miners told were met with disbelief. At Confederation headquarters, the Galactic Security Council convened an emergency session. Reports of the battle were displayed on large screens. Impossible, said a council member. Level 1 species do not defeat Confederation forces. High Commander Zinvox, who had met the first humans 3 years earlier, studied the battle footage carefully. These tactics are unlike anything in our records. They sacrifice ships to gain positional advantage. Their captains acted without constant central coordination. They lost 2 ships, another council member said. We lost none, only equipment. But they won the battle, Zinvox replied, and they showed resolve we did not predict. After much debate, the Security Council officially upgraded Earth's threat assessment to Level 3 concerning. Zinvox was assigned to gather more information about these unpredictable humans. On Earth, military leaders analyzed every second of the battle. The United Earth government announced plans to build more ships, stronger and faster than before. Dr. Samantha Kelly, now leading the newly formed Xenobiology Research Center, published her findings about Confederation species' stress responses. Under pressure, their thinking becomes rigid, falling back on established patterns, she wrote. Humans, by contrast, often become more flexible and creative when stressed, a survival trait from our evolution as prey animals who became predators. Lieutenant Greg Donovan, promoted after the Pathfinder mission, worked with military strategists to develop new tactics that would take advantage of this difference. "They expect us to fight like they do," he told a room of officers. "We won't." Admiral Olivia Reeves, watching Earth's defenses grow from her office in the Lunar Command Center, received the reports with grim satisfaction. "They thought we were negligible," she said to her aide. "Now they're concerned. Let's see what happens when they're afraid." In space, human ships patrolled their borders with new confidence. The challenge had escalated, and humanity was ready. 6 months after the battle at Proxima Centauri, Earth received a message from the Galactic Confederation. They wished to send a scientific mission to study Earth and its people. Admiral Olivia Reeves, now in charge of Earth's growing space fleet, knew it was not really a scientific mission. "They want to spy on us," she told the United Earth Government Council. "They want to learn our weaknesses." President Maria Vaughan nodded. "Of course they do. And we will let them." Admiral Reeves raised an eyebrow. "Let them spy on us?" "We will show them exactly what we want them to see," the president said with a small smile. No more, no less. When the Confederation ship arrived, a sleek vessel 3 times the size of Earth's largest ship, it carried 20 aliens from different species. They called themselves researchers and diplomats. Earth welcomed them with carefully planned ceremonies and tours. Dr. Samantha Kelly met the alien scientists at the Global Research Center. "We are honored by your interest in human biology," she said, leading them through labs where humans in white coats looked at samples under microscopes. What the aliens didn't know was that the real research was happening in underground facilities. One of these hidden labs, Dr. Kelly worked with Lieutenant Greg Donovan on what they called Project Evolution. They studied how humans differed from Confederation species in ways that went beyond physical traits. "Look at these brain scans," Dr. Kelly said, pointing to colorful images on a screen. "When a human faces danger, these areas light up: problem-solving, creativity, split-second decision-making." Donovan compared them to scans of Confederation species that Earth had secretly obtained. Their brains showed different patterns, more rigid, more focused on known solutions. "Exactly," Dr. Kelly said. "Humans evolved on a planet with constant threats. We had to adapt quickly or die. Most Confederation species evolved in more stable environments or developed technology before they faced major threats. Above ground, the Confederation visitors were shown carefully selected aspects of human culture and technology. They watched sports matches, visited factories, and attended university lectures. Earth seemed to be open and trusting. High Commander Zinvox, who led the Confederation mission, grew frustrated. "They show us everything, yet I feel we learn nothing important," he told his team. "Place more monitoring devices in their cities." The humans found these devices but left most of them in place, feeding them a mix of real and false information. Some devices were discovered publicly, with human news reports showing shock at being spied on. Meanwhile, human engineers worked day and night to understand and improve upon Confederation technology. What took other species decades to develop, humans adapted and enhanced in years. Earth ships became faster, their weapons more powerful, their shields stronger. The Confederation mission lasted for 8 months. When they departed, Zinvox filed his report to the Galactic Security Council. "Humans advance at an alarming rate. Their technology has improved significantly in the short time since first contact. They show unusual adaptability and determination." The Security Council reviewed the evidence. "This species jumped from primitive chemical rockets to faster-than-light travel in less than a century," one member noted. "Most species take 3 times as long." Earth's threat assessment was raised to Level 5 substantial. 1 year later, the Confederation invited Earth to send representatives to a diplomatic summit on neutral territory, a space station at the edge of Confederation space. Admiral Reeves led the mission, along with Ambassador Ryan Martinez and a team of diplomats and security personnel. When they arrived at the station, they found representatives from all 17 Confederation species waiting. The main meeting chamber was large, with windows showing the stars outside. The human delegation sat at one end of a long table, facing the Confederation representatives. "We have observed your people with interest," said the lead diplomat, a tall being with silver skin. "The Confederation has decided to offer Earth protected status within our territory." Ambassador Martinez listened carefully. "What does protected status mean exactly?" "You would gain access to certain Confederation technologies and trade routes. In return, you would accept Confederation authority over your military activities and colonial expansion." Admiral Reeves kept her face neutral, but her mind raced. This was not an offer of partnership, it was barely hidden control. "That is a generous offer," Martinez said smoothly. "However, Earth prefers equal membership in the Confederation, with the same rights as other members." The silver-skinned diplomat made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Equal membership? Your civilization is barely 5,000 years old. Some of our member species have histories reaching back 50,000 years. Age does not equal wisdom," Martinez replied. "We believe we have unique perspectives to offer." The meeting continued for hours, with polite words hiding tense meanings. When it ended, nothing had been decided. The Confederation representatives withdrew to discuss among themselves. In their private quarters, Martinez turned to Admiral Reeves. "They're afraid of us." Reeves nodded. "They should be. Did you see how they kept mentioning our expansion? They don't understand why we move so quickly." Later that night, Reeves discovered small devices hidden throughout their rooms, listening devices planted by the Confederation. She gathered her team. "They're monitoring everything we say," she told them quietly. "So let's give them something to hear." For the next 3 days, the humans had loud conversations about their worries about Earth's defenses and their admiration for Confederation technology. All false, all designed to mislead. Before they left the station, Martinez had one final meeting with the Confederation diplomats. Their offer remained the same: protected status, not equality. "We will bring your offer back to Earth for consideration," Martinez said politely. As they boarded their ship, Martinez whispered to Admiral Reeves, "They still think we're just clever animals. Let's use that." When they returned to Earth, the real work began. Project Evolution's findings were implemented across Earth's military. New training programs taught soldiers and pilots to use their unique human traits: adaptability, creativity under pressure, willingness to take calculated risks. Dr. Kelly discovered something else important. Humans had higher pain tolerance and physical endurance than most Confederation species. "We evolved as persistence hunters," she explained to military leaders. "We kept chasing prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. No other Confederation species did that. Humans prepared for what they knew was coming. The Confederation would not accept rejection. The next phase would not be fought with words. Earth was ready." The Confederation did not wait long to make their next move. 3 months after Earth rejected protected status, a fleet of 50 warships jumped into orbit around New Hope, humanity's largest colony outside the solar system. 10,000 humans had made their home on the fertile planet, building farms and small cities. Captain Frank Miller of the Colony Defense Station saw the ships appear on his sensors. His heart raced, but his voice remained steady as he contacted Earth. "Confederation fleet has arrived. Numbers match our predictions. Colony defense plan is active." On Earth, Admiral Olivia Reeves received the message with a grim nod. "They think they'll find an easy target," she said to her staff. "They're wrong. The people of New Hope had prepared for years. When the first Confederation shuttles landed outside the main settlement expecting to find panicking civilians, they, instead, found empty streets. The colonists had moved to underground bunkers built beneath every major settlement. The alien commander, a reptilian officer named Kraz, ordered his troops to secure key facilities. "These humans will surrender when they see our power," he told his soldiers. "Their colony is isolated and vulnerable." As the Confederation forces spread out, they discovered that the humans had built their colony differently than expected. Power. Plants were small and scattered instead of centralized. Water treatment happened at dozens of small facilities instead of one large one. Food was stored in hundreds of small caches rather than central warehouses. When they tried to take control of the communications center, they found it was a decoy. The real center was hidden underground. For 3 days, the Confederation forces searched for the colonists without success. Then, without warning, humans attacked from hidden tunnels and concealed bunkers. They were not soldiers but civilians with basic training and simple weapons. What they lacked in firepower, they made up for with knowledge of the terrain and fierce determination. Kraz could not understand it. "Why do they not surrender?" he asked his officers as reports came in of yet another ambush. "Do they not value their lives?" "They value their freedom more," one officer replied quietly. While the colony drew the Confederation's attention, Admiral Reeves launched Operation Thunderclap, coordinated strikes against Confederation supply lines by small, fast ships. Captain Eliza Warren led the most dangerous mission, taking the UES Phantom into the heart of Confederation space. The Phantom was a new type of ship, designed to absorb sensor scans rather than reflect them. It slipped past patrol ships and defense platforms until it reached a massive Confederation shipyard. 20 new warships waited there, nearly ready for launch. "All teams in position," Warren's second-in-command reported. "Waiting on your order." Warren looked at the display showing their targets. If they succeeded, they would cripple the Confederation's ability to build new ships for months. If they failed, they would likely die far from home. "Begin operation," she ordered. Small teams in stealth suits boarded each of the 20 ships. They planted devices that looked simple, but contained Earth's most advanced technology. Devices that would rewrite the ship's operating systems in the middle of their first battle, turning their weapons offline at the critical moment. One team was discovered. Alarms blared across the shipyard. Warren ordered the other teams to finish their work while she took the Phantom on a dangerous run past the station's defenses, drawing fire away from her people. "Shields at 40%, the EO tactical officer called as energy beams struck the ship. 30%? "Hold course," Warren commanded. Her ship shuddered as another hit struck home. When the last team signaled completion, Warren ordered an emergency jump away from the station. The Phantom vanished into FTL speed just as the station's main weapons locked on. Of the 20 boarding teams, 18 made it back to the ship. Warren held a brief memorial for the 6 humans lost, then set course for Earth. Their mission was a success, but the cost was heavy. When news of Operation Thunderclap reached the Confederation Security Council, Earth's threat assessment was raised to Level 7 Major. 3 council members from species who had suffered most from the supply line attacks began to question the wisdom of conflict with humans. "They do not fight as expected," said one, a being with 4 arms and eyes that could see in all directions. "They strike where we are weak, then vanish before we can respond." Zinvox, now Supreme Commander of all Confederation forces, slammed a fist on the table. "They are still primitive. They have simply surprised us with unconventional tactics. We can crush them if we commit our full strength." At the New Hope colony, the Confederation forces withdrew after 2 weeks of frustrating conflict. They had controlled the skies but never the ground. Though they had superior weapons and technology, they faced an enemy that refused to fight on their terms. As the last ships jumped away, the colonists emerged from their hiding places. They had lost homes and infrastructure but few lives. Most importantly, they had proven that humans would not surrender easily, no matter the odds. On Earth, Director Marcus Boyd of the Intelligence Division unveiled a new strategy. "The Confederation is not as united as they want us to believe," he told military leaders. "There are old rivalries and tensions between the 17 species. We can use that." His team began an information campaign, sending carefully crafted messages to various Confederation worlds. The messages highlighted how some species benefited more from the alliance than others. They revealed historical conflicts that had been hidden from public knowledge. They suggested that certain council members considered some species more valuable than others. "We don't need to defeat all 17 species," Boyd explained. "We just need to break their unity." The strategy worked. Better than expected. 3 species, each with long-standing grievances against the dominant Confederation powers, reached out to Earth with offers of separate peace agreements. Dr. Samantha Kelly presented her final report from Project Evolution to Admiral Reeves. "Our research confirms it," she said. "Humans possess psychological traits that the Confederation cannot understand or predict. We take risks they consider irrational. We endure hardships they expect to break us. We change tactics when they stick to doctrine." Admiral Reeves studied the report. "Can we win against their full force?" Dr. Kelly's expression was serious. "Not through conventional warfare. Their numbers and technology still exceed ours, but they've never faced a species like us before. That's our advantage." The Admiral looked out her window at the ships being prepared in Earth orbit. "They thought we were animals when they met us. Then they thought we were stubborn children. Now they're starting to realize what we really are." "And what's that?" Kelly asked. "The most dangerous species they've ever encountered," Reeves replied, "and they don't even understand why yet." Across Confederation space, the Grand Armada began to assemble. Zinvox was determined to end the human threat once and for all. What he didn't know was that humanity was prepared to show the galaxy exactly why their threat level should be maximum. The Grand Armada of the Galactic Confederation filled the space around their capital world. Over 10,000 warships gathered, the largest fleet ever assembled in the history of the 17 species. Supreme Commander Zinvox stood on the bridge of the flagship, looking at the massive display of power with satisfaction. "The human problem ends now," he told his officers. "No more games, no more tolerance of their disrespect." The fleet jumped through space in waves, taking 2 days to arrive at their target coordinates near Earth's solar system. When the last ship arrived, Zinvox sent his message to humanity. "People of Earth, this is Supreme Commander Zinvox of the Galactic Confederation. You see before you the combined might of 17 advanced civilizations. Your fleet numbers less than 1,000 vessels. Surrender now and accept protected status or face extinction. You have 48 hours to decide." On Earth, people watched the message with fear but also determination. They had prepared for this moment for years. Admiral Olivia Reeves addressed the world in response, her voice calm and steady. "Citizens of Earth and our colonies throughout human history, we have faced overwhelming odds. From natural disasters to disease to our own conflicts, humanity has always found a way to survive and thrive. It is not the size of the force that matters, but the spirit of those who wield it." She paused, looking directly at the camera. "We will not surrender our freedom. We stand together, all of humanity, against those who would make us kneel, and we will show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of." Earth's fleet took position between their homeworld and the Confederation Armada. The ships were outnumbered 10-1, but they had been built with everything humans had learned about Confederation technology and tactics. Captain Eliza Warren commanded the UES Defiance at the front of Earth's formation. Her ship was special, carrying the key to humanity's strategy. She looked at her crew, men and women who had trained for this moment. "Remember, timing is everything," she told them. "We only get one chance." As the 48-hour deadline approached, Admiral Reeves contacted Supreme Commander Zinvox. "We reject your terms. We will defend our freedom." Zinvox was not surprised. "So be it. Your species had such potential. It is unfortunate you chose extinction." The Confederation fleet moved forward in perfect formation, their systems linked through quantum communications. Each ship knew exactly where every other ship was located, what it was doing, what it would do next. It was beautiful coordination, the result of thousands of years of development. That was exactly what humans were counting on. "Now," Admiral Reeves ordered. Captain Warren activated the device her ship carried. It was a quantum entanglement disruptor, technology that Earth scientists had developed in secret. The device sent a pulse through subspace that temporarily disabled faster-than-light communications. Suddenly, the perfectly coordinated Confederation fleet was blind. Each ship could still see with its own sensors, but they could not talk to each other or receive commands from central control. Earth ships moved immediately, using pre-planned maneuvers that required minimal communication. They split into small groups, each targeting a section of the now confused Confederation fleet. "They're in disarray," Warren reported as her tactical display showed Confederation ships moving in conflicting patterns, some nearly colliding with each other. The disruptor worked. The Confederation had never developed tactics for fighting without constant communication. Their species had evolved with different assumptions about warfare, always believing that perfect information was the key to victory. Humans, who had fought countless wars with incomplete information, fog of war, and broken communication, were in their element. Earth's ships darted between the larger Confederation vessels, firing precisely at key systems. They did not try to destroy. The alien ships only disabled them. Each human captain had authority to make decisions without checking with command, a level of independence unthinkable to Confederation officers. On his flagship, Zinvox raged at his crew. "Restore communications. Get the fleet back in formation." But his orders could not reach beyond his own ship. Captain Warren led a strike team of 5 ships straight toward the Confederation flagship. They took heavy damage getting close, but they succeeded in their mission. Special Forces troops in advanced suits boarded the massive vessel. The boarding team fought their way to the bridge, where they found Zinvox still shouting orders. When he saw the humans enter, weapons ready, his blue-gray skin paled. "Impossible," he whispered. The team leader lowered her weapon slightly. "Supreme Commander Zinvox, you are being detained by authority of the United Earth Government." Across the battlefield, more than 1,000 Confederation ships had been disabled. Many others had withdrawn, unable to coordinate a proper defense. Some had even fired on their own allies in the confusion. When communication was restored 3 hours later, the Confederation fleet found that they had lost not just the battle but their supreme commander as well. Earth ships surrounded the flagship and human voices dominated the communication channels. "This is Admiral Olivia Reeves of Earth. Your fleet is in disarray. Your commander is in our custody. We offer you the chance to withdraw and discuss peace on equal terms." The remaining Confederation leaders had no choice but to agree. The battle was over. Earth had won not through superior numbers or technology, but through understanding their enemy and turning their strengths into weaknesses. 1 week later, Ambassador Ryan Martinez stood before the Galactic Security Council. Zinvox sat nearby, no longer in command but present as a witness. "The people of Earth do not seek dominance or revenge," Martinez said to the assembled representatives. "We seek partnership on equal terms. We have proven that we deserve your respect, not your control." After days of debate, the Confederation agreed to a new galactic compact, with Earth as a founding member with equal status. Dr. Samantha Kelly's research became required reading for all Confederation diplomats and military officers, helping them understand the psychology of their new partners. At Confederation headquarters, the threat assessment system was redesigned. Above Level 10 was a new category, human level, approach with respect and good faith. Admiral Reeves and Captain Warren stood on the balcony of Earth's new embassy on the Confederation capital world. Below them, representatives from dozens of species moved through the plaza, many looking up at the human building with newfound respect. "Do you think they understand us now?" Warren asked. Reeves smiled slightly. "No, but they've learned something more important. They don't need to understand us to respect us." Warren looked out at the stars visible in the evening sky. "What happens next?" "We do what humans have always done," Reeves replied. "We explore, we learn, we grow, but now we do it as equals in a much larger community. Across the galaxy, the story spread of how a young species with primitive technology had challenged the established order and earned their place among the stars. It was a lesson no species would soon forget. Never underestimate humans, for their greatest strength was not in their weapons or their ships, but in their indomitable spirit. As Captain Warren watched the alien sunset, she smiled at the thought that humanity's greatest adventures were just beginning.